Welcome! In this explainer, we're going to break down a really compelling offer that promises a path to a Canadian work visa and, believe it or not, permanent residency in just 22 months. We're going to use the materials from the company making this offer to see exactly what they're claiming and how they say it all works. So the source material kicks things off with this line right here. It's a powerful hook, isn't it? It jumps straight to the dream scenario, a job offer waiting for you, and a super fast track to residency. That sets the bar really high, so let's dig in and see how they plan to deliver on that promise.
All right, here's our game plan for breaking this all down. We'll start with that big 22-month promise itself, then look at why they're pitching Canada as the place to be. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the offer, the actual steps you'd need to take, and finally, what they say life is like after you arrive.
Okay, first up, the 22-month promise. Let's really unpack the core claim that this entire offer is built around.
Everything really does hinge on this one number, 22. The source is claiming that's all the time it takes to qualify for permanent residency or PR in Canada. Now, if you're not familiar, PR is a huge deal. It gives you the right to live and work in the country forever, and it's a major step towards becoming a citizen. 22 months is a very specific, very ambitious timeline, so let's see how they get to that number.
So think of this offer like a two-stage rocket. Stage 1 is just getting you to Canada with a job already lined up, and they say that takes about 5 to 6 months. Stage 2, and this is the crucial part, is that this job isn't just a job. It's your launchpad, your direct pathway to getting that permanent residency.
So why Canada? Of all the places you could go, why here? Well, the source material makes a really strong case for it. Let's take a look at the specific benefits they're highlighting to really build that argument.
You know, the source really paints an ideal picture of life in Canada. And notice the focus here. It's not just about a paycheck. They're selling a complete lifestyle change. Universal healthcare, great schools for your kids, a safe place to live, strong rights for workers. It's all designed to appeal to someone who's looking for that long-term stability for their entire family. And this slide really gets to the why now part of the pitch. The source is arguing that this isn't some random opportunity. It's being driven by a very real need in the Canadian job market. They point to a specific trend, Canada's aging population, as the engine that's creating this huge demand for caregivers.
Okay, so we get the promise and the big picture. Now, let's look under the hood. What exactly is included in this package from Travul.org? What are you actually getting?
The package is built on these 4 main pillars. You've got a guaranteed job and the work permit to get you in the door. Then there's the PR pathway, which is the long-term prize. And, very importantly, they make sure to mention you can bring your family along, which for many people is a total game changer.
Now, the source really shines a spotlight on one specific path, the caregiver route. They're claiming that this is one of the fastest and most direct ways for applicants, especially those from Nigeria, to land both a job and that clear shot at residency.
Okay, so here's where we get to the bottom of that 22-month number. It's really interesting. To qualify for PR, you have 2 options. You can either work full-time for 24 months straight, or you can log 3,900 hours of work. And according to the source, a lot of people are able to hit that 3,900-hour mark in just 22 months. And boom, that's where the headline number comes from.
So, we've covered the what. Now for the how. Let's walk through the 4-step process that the source material lays out for you.
The process is laid out as a simple 4-step journey. It all starts with a consultation. Then you submit your documents. After that, they say their organization handles all the heavy lifting of the application. And the final step? You're on a plane to Ontario to start your new job. It's presented to be really streamlined, to take the fear and complexity out of the whole immigration process. So, after you've gone through all that, what happens next? Our last section looks at the outcomes promised in the source material. What your life is supposed to look like once you've actually landed in Canada. And this brings us right back to where we started. These outcomes are a direct reflection of all those benefits they used to sell the Canadian dream at the beginning. This is the payoff, a steady income, free healthcare, great schools for the kids, and the start of your journey from being a temporary worker to a permanent resident, and maybe even a citizen one day. So the bottom line is, this source material is framing this whole thing as a direct, clearly laid out path to a brand new future. And that leaves us with a final thought. When you see a pathway laid out this clearly, what does that mean for your own personal goals, for your family's future? And that wraps up our deconstruction of this particular offer. For anyone who wants to follow up and learn more, the source provides these contact details right here. Our goal today was just to break down the information as it was presented. Thanks for watching.